We are live.
You're live.
We
Hello.
always like surprised when we go live. Click a button and you're live. So I am here, and all of you probably know Kerry, but in case you don't, we have the brilliant Kerry King with us, who is a Tya rock star, and so as
I love
everybody's
it.
on, we'll just chat a little bit. So this is Tya Talk, and we talk about the Tya practice on this broadcast. And this broadcast is usually exclusive for the Tya practice Facebook group. However, today I cheated a little bit and I pushed it out to a couple of other pages and onto our YouTube page as well, our YouTube channel as
Ooh.
well. So we're on YouTube, we're in the Stream of David Facebook page, and we are on the Tya practice Facebook group as always. So the reason I invited Kerry to come on as our Tya rock star of the moment, she has this fantastic story to share. And I call her a Tya rock star because she's in mastery. She's, works for me. So she's around the business and around the Tya practice all the time. But gosh, your manifestations are just incredible. And you've just manifested something massive. And I just want you to share that whole story with everybody to get the ball rolling here. Hi, and say hi as you're signing on. Let us know who you are. If you haven't registered with StreamYard, you show up on our end as Facebook user. So just say hi and who you are. Mike, I see you on here. So hello. But
Mike.
say hi. And if you have questions about the Tya practice, we will be answering those. But first, Kerry's going to share her wonderful manifestation experience and how she did it.
Okay. So just a little backstory. My whole life, my parents loved the beach and the ocean. And my whole life, I had dreams of living on an island somewhere near the ocean. And of course, as you move through life, I hear all the well-intended, oh, it's too expensive. You can't do that, blah, blah, blah. And so I kind of put that dream on the back burner. And then fast forward to Tya boot camp. I got into boot camp and started realizing that I can dream bigger, that I can create my own environment. And so I had my house for sale before the pandemic, and I had 0 bites and realized that I was needing it to sell because I was in fear mode of I had lost my job and was in fear mode of how was I going to pay for everything. So in the needing to sell, it didn't sell. And so then we took it off the market and the pandemic kind of went through, and then I found my dream job. And then I put it back on the market and it has sold. And so I went to Belize, I think it's been 2 weeks ago. And interesting enough, I had been researching Belize the whole time in the pandemic because my second book, which is fiction, my characters were going to some caves that are in the mainland of Belize. So I had been doing research, but never thought about moving there. So my dear friends had said they had been there, and it sounded like it checked off everything that I ever dreamed of as far as living on an island. So there's an island off of Belize, and I know I pronounce it wrong. It's Ambergris Key. And I went there 2 weeks ago and fell in for the first time ever.
To Belize for the first time too, right?
Yes, to Belize for the first time. It's in the Caribbean, and I've been to other islands in the Caribbean, but never to Belize. So we went there last week, 2 weeks ago. I went with my friend, who's also my realtor, and fell in love. Absolutely fell in love with the country and the people, and the vibe there is so Tya-like. I just felt like I was home. So I ended up buying a house or a condo on the ocean. I mean, I'm literally I'm on the beach. The ocean's right there, probably 20 steps from my new place. So I will be moving there in a few weeks. And I cannot be even more excited because it has been my dream, my biggest dream, to live on the ocean. I love the ocean. And David's only requirement was that I had good internet. And fortunately, during COVID, they discovered that there were issues. So they had put in fiber optics, and the internet there actually is faster than I have here in Texas. So I've checked that out first.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that and there's a few little things that took note of because I've known you this whole time because you
Mhm.
had the house for sale, you were in boot camp, you had some things happen, you took the house off the market, you get out of boot camp, you get into mastery, and then you start working for the business. You start working for me full time. I always say full time plus because I think it's a job and a half, right? And you put the house, but you didn't sell the house. But then when the market gets so much better, you put the house back on in a
Mhm.
much better real estate market, which is
Yes.
incredible. That blessing in disguise. You were hammering, and it wasn't selling because you needed it, and that's a good lesson to teach here in this Tya talk. When you're in that vibration of need, when you need more money and you need a better job and you need whatever it is, when you're hammering and you chase it away because the vibration of need is always answered with yes, you need it. Remember
Hmm.
that. So you
Yes.
put the hammer down, you stopped all of that, you took a little break, then you came back, you put the house back on the market, it sold very quickly without the hammer. Um, and then I was just in awe that you're telling me you're going to Belize, and by the way, you're probably going to move there. And then you weren't kidding. You were only there for a few days, and you
I
bought a
did.
place, which is
I
incredible,
did. Yes, I let
incredible.
go of all the fear of, moving away, not knowing anybody, to a whole new place out of the US where I've lived my whole life. And I created some obstacles on the way, but I just continued to detune that fear and just be fearless and allow it to happen. And it happened so quickly and so magically. I mean, it was just story after story. And interesting enough, we went snorkeling, um, 2 days in there into Belize, and it was beautiful and amazing. But the family that we met on the boat, were they were from another state, but the father had gone to school in Texas, and so of course, we had things to talk about, and then found out they had just come from the mainland and were at the cave that I'm writing my fiction book about.
Oh,
So
that's
he gave
cool.
me, yes, and they met a gentleman that was there doing a documentary about this cave. And so he gave me the name, and I've reached out to that gentleman to get a little bit more information for my book. But
Very,
it
very
just,
serendipitous.
yes,
Love it.
exactly.
Love
And it was every day there was something like that that just made me know I was making the right decision, and it was so magical.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah.
like the point you brought up about the obstacles too, because I think that's
Mhm.
something. Here's another little Taya tip. Um, when you start manifesting something and it unravels, that's not the end of it. That's not the end of it. That's why Taya is so different than law of attraction teachings, because in law of attraction, the idea is you align with what you want, you don't resist it, you be it, and it shows up, and that's true. It does. But that doesn't work for most people because we're going through vibrational flow, up and down vibrational flow. So these bigger things that we really want to happen, and we all have desires, we all have things that we want, of course we do, and we're thinking about them a lot, and we're thinking about them through vibrational flow, which means sometimes we're aligned with them and sometimes we are less than that. And that dip in vibration is what creates the obstacles along the path. But I've said this for forever now, that the obstacles do not exist to kill your manifestation. The obstacles exist for you to see the cracks in the foundation of your creation and create an even better version of. So I love the story about you put a bid on one place.
I did.
I'm gonna let you share that because it's exactly what that is. It's exactly the universal process of creation at play.
Yes, it was so true because, so we had, looked all day. The realtor there had taken us all day and shown us all the condos that fit my criteria, and none of them checked off everything. So, It just wasn't the right fit. So the very last one we saw, I started negotiating and thinking, well, this could be okay. And, and so it was interesting because I was kind of negotiating and thinking about it. And then I turned to the other realtor that was showing us to us. And I was like, so it's pet friendly, right? And she said, no. And I was like,
Oh,
see, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
and so we ended up going to a bar that's out on the ocean and taking a break. And the realtor said, okay, what is must haves? And so I said my list, it has to be on the ocean, has to be pet friendly. I would like 2 bedrooms, but I'm okay with 1 bedroom, yada, yada, yada. So then my friend and I went out onto the pier and there was a beautiful sailboat there. So we went and took pictures and we came back and he said, I've made some phone calls and there's 3 that might be coming on the market, but they're going to let us go see it. So we did. And one of them was what I thought was perfect. So, except the price was out of my budget. So we put in a bid. And then I just was like, it's going to happen. This couldn't be more perfect. And I was trusting. We get back home and I'm not hearing. And I start hammering. Where is it? Where is it? I'm looking at my email. I'm texting the realtor. Where is it? Where is it? And of course, the lady finally came back and said, no, she was firm on her price. And I thought, dang, I just created an obstacle.
I unraveled my manifestation. Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no. So I stopped and did my my breathing and quieted my mind. And I just thought, okay, I blew that up, but something better will come along. And sure enough, within an hour, he called me back. And it's at the same place, the same condo complex. It's right on the ocean, but it's under construction. So the building's built, but the inside is not. And the deal fell through. And so I could get it. And it's bigger than the one I wanted. And it's going to be brand new. So everything is brand new. And
it's your price, right? That's what I love.
It was absolutely.
Yeah, you're getting a brand new one for less money that's bigger on the ocean still, pet friendly. Again, I love this because it's an example of you were so excited about the first one.
I know.
And you were so excited about it, you started hammering at it. And then the hammering at it caused the unraveling of it. And then when it unraveled, something even better popped right up.
Yes. And
that
I
is
have not.
The process of creation. I love it. I love it because we have examples, we have proof of it everywhere that this is the process of creation. It's not just about think about what you want and it shows up and that's it. Because we're operating in vibrational flow, but that vibrational flow is nothing to sneeze at. That vibrational flow exists for us to create a better version of. And the only time you don't do that is when you stop trusting and you give up.
And I have been trusting, and you would not believe, things are falling into place, and I will be moving there in a few weeks, even though it's under construction, because my realtor has an aunt that has Airbnb. It's 1 block from the beach that is going to allow me to bring my pets and stay there. Very reasonable price, and allow me to stay there so I can oversee the building or construction and pick out.
So we're all moving to Belize. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Because a year ago, I know it wasn't even in your mindset to be able to go live on the ocean in Belize.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. It was interesting enough though, David. And I wish I still had it because we threw it away when we were moving. But in boot camp, we create a vision board. And that was the center of my vision board, was this balcony with the ocean view. And it had an archway and these like stone pillars. And that is the condo I'm moving into.
That's very cool. I love that.
I wish I had that picture. It got tossed when we were
That's okay.
when I
There's
was
always
moving.
more vision boards to come, whether they're in
Yes.
your mind or on paper or a board or whatever. Saying hi to Stephanie and hi to
Oh,
Debbie
yeah.
G watching right now.
Oh, hi.
We popped into Spirituality Gone Wild, so we
Oh,
like to pop in there sometimes, see everybody and say hi. So Debbie G is going to join us on Saturday for our
yay.
Stream Summit, and we're doing we do 4 summits a year. So this is one of our quarterly summits that we have coming up this Saturday, which is July 10th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific. It's a 4-hour channeling event where we all get together and we're on Zoom. It's private. It's not something that we broadcast at all. And you get to come in and interact with all of us and the stream. And chances are you will get to converse directly with the stream, ask questions, ask follow-up questions. But the coolest thing that came out of the last summit that we did, and if you've seen the little trailer that we've been popping everywhere, there's me channeling the stream. And then at the end, there's the reaction of everybody at the end of that interaction. We were all blown away. I was blown away. Everybody was blown away with the energy that we created. And I've come up with this term. It's the only way I can describe it because I channel a couple of times a week, at least every week of my life. It feels amazing. I love the clarity of source flowing through me. I love the interaction. I love the reaction of the other person on the other end, when they receive what they receive in that interaction. So it's an amazing thing just to channel. But this was a different level because all of us came together and committed to that 4-hour event. And it was like the vibe just kept going higher and higher and higher and higher. So I've come up with the term Supervibes. That's the only way I can describe it. It's
Oh, I love it.
super vibe experience, the
Yes.
super vibes of that interaction. And I don't know who is on right now. Debbie wasn't in the last one, but she's going to be on this Saturday, at least for a while. And if any of you were on last time, pop in the comments. Even if you're watching the recording of this later, pop in the comments because I know that a lot of you had a fantastic experience in that summit. So we do have another one coming up this Saturday from 9 a.m. Pacific to 1 p.m. The link to get your ticket is in the description of this video. Wherever you're watching us, there should be a link to get your ticket to the event. So when we're through taking questions and talking about Tya and the Tya rock star that Kerry is, you can grab your ticket and come hang out with us for 4 hours on Saturday of Supervibes.
Yes, that's that. Supervibes. I was going to say, and I felt like from the last summits was when kind of things clicked into place, and listening to the stream and people being able to ask questions and the information that we got from that. And one of the big ones was, that hammering and fear creating the obstacles that blow up whatever dream you may have. And it really clicked into place for me because I had been struggling trying to sell my place. And I had, like I said, I kind of put that dream on the back burner. And then listening to the stream during the summit, it just kicked in that, no, I can dream big. I can dream bigger. I can dream anything and watch it happen. And if I allow it and quit getting in the way and quit hammering, right, it comes to you bigger and better and absolutely magical ways that you may never have even dreamed of. That's what really surprised me.
Well, and that's why trust is so important, because if you just trust and trust the process, even when it looks like it's not working, knowing that it is, because you have to, this is another big deal. I love these little, we should have a little bell that we ring every time we do a really Tya tool here. A really cool thing about Tya is that we come to realize that source doesn't judge, because we think of things in terms of positive, negative, wanted, unwanted. Source says it's all for us. It's all for us. All of it, all the stuff, all of it. It's all enriching our human experience. But more importantly, it's enriching our eternal soul consciousness experience to come here to planet Earth and operate our human vehicles, have this human life experience. And every single experience that we have enriches us. The only reason that we suffer is because we identify certain things as suffering, unwanted, or negative, because we have learned that. Think
Right.
about it. We've learned it. We've
Yes.
learned that it's bad to suffer. We've learned that it's bad to have unwanted things cross our paths. So our opinion of them being bad is exactly what makes them bad.
Yes. And same with big and small, because that's one thing that really clicked into place for me from the last summit was we can manifest a parking space the same way we manifest a house on the ocean. They're
Mhm.
the same. The universe doesn't
Everything is a
see it.
manifestation in and again, the
It's
universe
just
isn't judgment.
energetic.
Yeah.
Right. And I went, oh my gosh. I mean, I manifest parking spaces all the time. That seemed easy, seemed little.
Mhm.
The house on the ocean seemed so huge. And when I let go of judging it, of labeling it, of just allowing it, that's when the magic happened. And again, so quickly. I mean,
Yeah,
a
and then
month ago.
understanding the obstacles that show up, we place the obstacles because of our vibrational flow, because we dip down in vibration, and we all do. There's no changing that. There's no curing that. That creates the obstacle, but the obstacle isn't bad because Source is sending us everything that we're aligned with, and it's all for us, and it's all for our expansion. It's all to allow us to create even better and bigger and more
Mhm.
expansion, which is why we're here. We are here for new creation in the form of solving our problems, in the form of making our lives easier, and in all the things that we do create expansion for us and actually contribute to the expansion of the whole universe. So when you start thinking in terms of we are here on a mission of universal expansion, and that expansion is achieved in the sum of all of our experiences without judgment, and they make us a more sophisticated being, even while we're in our current life. And I was talking to Stacy today, and we were discussing that if you think about when you go on a weekend trip and you go to a new environment, maybe you go to the beach on a weekend trip. I just went to the beach last weekend. I live in the desert. I went to the beach. It was really nice. So you go to this new environment for a weekend or so, and you experience different weather and different sights and scenery, different vibration, different food, different people, different experiences. And in that trip, there can be both positive and negative things. You may go to the beach and get stung by a stingray. You know, you may get locked out of your hotel room or your condo or something. You may lose your luggage or miss a flight. And you're also going to probably eat some amazing food and meet some fun people and, have too much to drink one night. Have these different experiences, right? And when you get back from the weekend trip, what do? You sit around especially when a little time goes by. Oh my gosh, that trip was so amazing. Remember, I got stung by that stingray. We got locked out. We thought it was terrible. But we ended up having so much fun. It was an expansive experience. All of it, the positive and the negative, we can look back on it in a full appreciation. Well, think about our eternal selves viewing our current life experience just like that weekend trip, a sum of experiences. And I can do that to this day. I remember when I was addicted to Oxycontin, I can totally laugh about that. I was addicted to Oxycontin for a year. Totally laugh about that. I remember the whole decade in my 30s, I weighed 300 pounds. I can totally laugh about that and enjoy that experience. I've had that experience. I've had the experience of being a 300-pound person. I've had the experience of walking into a clothing store and having them right off the bat say, sorry, nothing in here fits you. Try over there. I've had those experiences. I've had the negative experiences of life, and I've had the positive experiences of life, and I can look at all of it in appreciation. And we all can.
Mhm.
And when we start doing that, life gets magical. And when you stop fearing your obstacles and start realizing that those obstacles are our own creation to allow us to create something even bigger. So I love that you didn't miss a beat. I didn't even know that you lost that first condo because you manifested the better condo for less money by the time we even talked about it. And we
Yeah.
talk all the time.
Right. It happened
Like
so
it happens
quickly.
so quickly. Yeah.
It did.
Love it. I
And
love it.
again, yeah, just um, like I said, and even when we were looking and didn't find anything, I went DTS, and then we were out, looking at the sailboats and all that. And I thought, it's okay. It's okay. Because there will be something. And I did some deep breathing. And of course, being by the ocean just completely brings me up the spiral immediately. And by the time we walked back, my realtor there said, I have 3 more places to look at that were not listed on the market yet. And so, yeah, it's just, it really can turn around that quickly if you choose to not, I could have had a little pity party and been like, I don't find anything for me.
Yeah, well,
But
it's
you
good
choose
that
not to.
you've
Yeah.
gotten yourself to a place where you don't even have to do that anymore. And
No.
I love that. I do love that.
Yeah.
So hi to Mona and Leslie,
Oh,
both
hi.
current Tya boot campers. So hello to both of you.
Yes.
And anybody, if you have any questions about the Tya practice, you can pop those in. You can ask questions to either one of us or both of us, or a general question about the Tya practice. And we're here to share. This is Tya Talk, so we're here to share Tya tips for everyone. And we've already shared a few. Something else I'm going to share while we're on is I've been sharing this channeled message about money around boot
Yes.
camp and mastery. And I love it. I want to share it everywhere. So when the stream comes out with a teaching, the stream teachings are for everyone, everywhere. We don't hoard information in boot camp or anything like that. I love to share this stuff around, and we're going to talk about it. So listen up to this channel message from the stream about our commerce system. And there have been a lot of discussions in boot camp and mastery around this since it came out. And you can all ask questions for clarity and give us your opinion on it as well. So the title of this, and this was something that I did as a post for Instagram, and it's probably already gone on Instagram, but I like to read it anyway. Earth's system of commerce is an illusion created to control behavior. This is all channeled from the stream. The Earth environment is abundant by default. All the resources needed for every single expression of life to have its earthly experience already exists. Life feeds life, and Earth is a self-sustaining environment always. The imbalance of these resources is an illusion, invented to create classes to motivate a workforce to labor on behalf of others. The labor force exists via its own belief in limitation. The ones who have moved themselves out of the labor force did not do so with genius or even brute force. Those things are a product of labor. The ones who have moved themselves out of laboring for others did so via the releasing of their fear and judgment of the system. They did it via appreciation of it. The teachers who are guiding you to demonize your system of commerce are leading you into a pit of never-ending striving. Striving that gets jobs done with the reward of more need. It's a brilliant system that each and every one of you chose to manifest into. That's an important point. Because you knew that finding appreciation for it would be a challenge. And in your radical appreciation for the injustice, you come to see that all beings are having their earth experience in their own bubbles of self-created reality, often as a reaction to what has occurred in their paths, but their own chosen reaction nonetheless for the experience. You get to choose. Be appreciative of your earthly system and receive the bounty of it, or demonize it and limit your receiving in the process. Peel away the layers of human-created judgment on any topic and manifest clarity. When you peel away the layers of judgment of your system of commerce, what do you find? That is true abundance and is available to all.
I love that.
So the idea of that on the surface may sound callous. Sometimes the Tya stuff does sound like that because it's very cut and dry, because the universe is very cut and dry. And we don't have any evidence in the earth environment to the contrary of that, because we are all talking all the time about how life is not fair. We have a 1% or less that operate at the top of the system, the very top of the pyramid. And then you have something less than that all the way down to the base of the pyramid. And the cogs in the machine, all of the beings of the planet, and in this case, especially humanity, make up the whole pyramid. So being part of the supporting pyramid is part of the process. And everyone not being on the same path with commerce is part of that. And the stream isn't judging. The stream is not judging you if you are homeless. The stream is not judging you if you are the greediest human being on earth. The stream isn't judging any of that, anywhere in between. It's all good in the eyes of the stream, in the eyes of source. But we judge it. And we judge, rich. A lot of us say rich is good, poor is bad. But then we flip around and say, gosh, the homeless people need to be fed and taken care of. And, why can't the people at the very top of the pyramid share more? And it's such an aha moment to come to understand that the people at the top of the pyramid are at the top of the pyramid because they love the system. They embrace the system. They're completely fine with the system. They're completely fine with the labor force element of the system. Because if you're not owning the system, then you are contributing to it in other ways, meaning you are laboring on behalf of somebody else. You are creating something to contribute to the system. It's an energy exchange system. It is. And we're all in it. And we all chose to be in it. And that's the key. That's the part I really like about that, because it's so easy to say, gosh, this system is so wrong. We have all these resources on earth. Everything here exists for everyone. We shouldn't want for anything. We shouldn't want for healthcare. We shouldn't want for, are you okay, Kerry?
Sorry, I was going to sneeze.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah,
We shouldn't want for anything because we have all the resources that everyone needs right here on the planet. And we know that. But there's definitely an imbalance in who has what. But the demonization of the system isn't fixing the system. It isn't changing the system. So why think that it even needs to be changed in the first place? Why not look upon all humanity without judgment and allow all others to have their experience? And then apply that same logic to yourself, or that same gravitas to yourself, if you will, that you get to have the experience that you came here to have. It was never intended to be perfect in the first place, but the more you love and embrace the system, the more you move into the swim in the stream of the system and become part of it and even move to the top of it. That's a very, very, very valuable message for anyone who wants abundance. You're not going to be more abundant while you're complaining about the limitations of the system.
Right.
The law of attraction won't allow that, because if you are creating your bubble of reality, and if your bubble of reality is one of full unbridled abundance, you've got everything that you want flowing right to you without fear, without doubt, then that's your reality. And if you're in any system less than that, in any belief system less than that, and most all of us are in some lesser version of that, right?
Okay.
Then you're getting your bubble of reality. And notice that our lives, our homes, our food, our travel, our clothes, our experiences, all of those things are very aligned with our beliefs. Very much so. Mm-hmm. So the only way to change your abundance on any topic, it's not just money and financial, I'm talking about full abundance, is to change your belief system. And it takes work to change the belief system. And that's why I created Tya, because all these concepts used to sound fantastic to me, and I always understood them because I understood them since I was a child. But putting a system in place in my life to allow it to start to unfold and really blossom for me in every way was what I created for myself and what ultimately became the Tya practice. So that's what I'm sharing with all of you.
And one reason I love it so much is because being the type of person that I am, the pre-Tya me hammered and made things complex. And the tools are simple. The work, you have to put in the work and you have to commit to it for yourself. So that part is not simple because it's unique to each person. But the tools, I think, are very simple, very easy to understand, and very easy to apply. When it becomes the challenge, and we all see it, even I'm 3 years in and I still have challenges, is to continue to use those till they become your habit or your practice, your daily practice, just like yoga or exercise or a diet.
Yeah, well, none of us ever reach a finish line where we are perfect. And I'm never in here talking about, oh, my life is perfect, I've got every single thing. No, of course not. But it's really good, and it's a whole hell of a lot better than it used to be. And I have manifested on every topic. I've manifested improved health, improved bodily conditions. I've manifested money. I've manifested living where I want to live, loving relationship over 50 that I didn't manifest until after that. So I have manifested all those topics, but the beauty of all of it is that, of course, it's not all perfect and not everything that I want, because as soon as I manifest one thing, there's something else that's going to pop up. And I love that, though. I love the expansive nature, our expansive nature. We just are, the universe is expansive by nature. the earth environment is expansive by nature.
Mhm.
You know, the vegetation is always overgrowing, right? And becoming more lush. And the planet is always taking care of itself, whether we believe that it is or not. You know, it may push back on us a little bit, but ultimately I believe the earth is always going to flourish
Yes.
because we see that. You know, you said when you were
Mhm.
snorkeling, you know, you got to,
Oh,
I love snorkeling. I'm not a diver,
mhm.
but I love snorkeling because you kind of just put your face down in this beautiful water and suddenly you're in this whole other world.
Oh,
It's like
yes.
you just went to a different planet, right?
Yes, and it was talk about abundance. I can't even. I mean, hundreds of different types of fish, and um, I it I can't even explain it. And these stingrays that swam like right underneath me, and then I let go of fear, and we went to a place called Shark Alley, and I jumped in with sharks. They were nurse sharks, but that was another fear that I had overcome because never before would I have gotten into the water with sharks, no matter how tiny they were. And I did. I just jumped in, and it was watching them feed. And there's these other fish that um, attach themselves to the shark and swim around. And I was just fascinated by all of that. So, yes, I mean, if you just think of the size of the ocean and how many things talk about abundance, wow, that really was just magical. So yeah, I agree with you, David. I feel like the earth is shows us every day of the abundance that is there and available to
We've
anyone
got to
and
pay
all of
attention
us.
to it because exactly it's
Mhm.
available to all of us and it's available to us in a human way because
Yes.
we've created material abundance beyond the organic creation of the earth environment. That's why, you know, the stream is called humanity a mutation of the earth environment. It makes perfect sense. It's almost like as soon as they say it, you're like, oh God, yeah, that
Oh,
makes so
yeah.
much sense, right? So humanity is a mutation of the earth environment. We've created now technology that is still catching up to the brilliant technology that is the earth environment and is us because we are technology. But in all of this technology that we've created, we have an exchange system. And the
Mhm.
exchange system is someone's got to build the house that you're going to live in. Someone's got to build the iPhone. Someone's got to build the computer. You know, someone's got to create the internet. Someone's got to work in the factory or the plant that generates the electricity for all of this. The things that we want to experience as humanity that we create take labor, and the
Mhm.
labor force is part of that pyramid. But the labor force, as part of that pyramid, they're contributing to it, but they may not fully own it and believe in it and love the system. They might, but maybe they don't. It doesn't matter because
Mhm.
everyone is contributing to the system of labor no matter what. And somebody said the other day when we mentioned that, well, what about, you know, homeless people that don't work at all? And someone's, you know, giving them food and maybe shelter, or at least they have a place to sleep, you know, that sort of thing. Well, guess what? They are creating commerce because there are people laboring on their behalf. There are. And sometimes
Mhm.
they do things for money as well. I won't get
Mhm.
into all that, but they are creating commerce. Think of how many dollars are generated and how much work goes into homeless people. You know, it may not be like the way that we want to see it because I live in Southern California where we have, you know, streets lined with tents and things like that. It's common here. And I used to live in San Francisco where it's very common. So to say that they are not part of the system, that they have sort of exited the system, I think the system is inevitable. The system of exchange is inevitable that we've created. Someone has to work to create something. So there's going to be some sort of exchange that we create. And if you start thinking of currency, money in terms of energy, that is an exchange and your worthiness of it and your worthiness of what you're offering the world, even if what you're offering the world is your magical high vibrational self, making that your worthiness for receiving the experience that you want to have on planet Earth. Somebody's asking if we can have a Tya event in Belize. Well, we'll have to ask our host,
Oh,
Kerry. If we
I
can
would
have
love
an event
that.
in Belize, that would be fantastic.
Wouldn't it be fantastic? I would love it.
I know Deborah's
Absolutely.
she's planning to do Tya boot camp on the Camino de Santiago. So she wants to run a whole Thai boot camp on the Camino. So
Yes.
we're
And
going to be very global very soon. We're already global, but we're going to be physically
yes,
global very soon.
I love it. And did you know Deborah used to be a underwater videographer and lived in Belize.
I didn't know about the Belize part, but I knew about her other careers. That's real. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really
I
interesting.
didn't know that either until I was telling her that I was going there. And yeah, isn't that crazy? Again, serendipities that I just absolutely adore. And they seem to be coming more and more and quicker for me when I move out of my own way. And I threw that hammer in the ocean.
That's good. Yeah, we could all use to put our hammers down. Every once in a while we all pick it up. Again, it's part of lower vibrational flow. You get into that frustration space, or you get into that, impatience. I can be very impatient. I have become much more patient with this practice for sure, because now I look back at the things that I didn't manifest right away that evolved into something much bigger because it didn't manifest exactly the way that I thought it was going to. And again, that goes back to the universe isn't judging. And if you flow through your vibrational flow without giving up, that vibrational flow and the creation of those obstacles is just giving you the tools to create something even bigger.
Yes,
Very
absolutely.
good.
No, so much fun.
Any questions from anybody about the summit or about Tya in general? We'll be happy to answer those as we wrap up here. I see a lot of familiar faces. I see Sam on. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
All right. Well, we have a link. We do have a link for all of you, wherever you're watching this. Look in the description of this video, and there is a link to go grab your ticket for. Oh, Luca's on. Okay, that's who the Facebook users. Go grab your ticket for the summit. It is this Saturday. It's coming up this Saturday. We only do them once a quarter, so we only do 2 more summits in 2021. And these are both virtual summits. So you will buy a ticket, you'll come onto the Zoom meeting, and we will be in a Zoom room together. I will channel the stream for 4 hours. We take 2 breaks. And like I said, the best way to describe what happened last time in that interaction is Supervibes. We created Supervibes in that experience. And it was magical and it was amazing. And it was transformative for many, certainly for me. And Kerry has said the same, that it was just a transformative experience to be in there. I feel like every time we get together and do these things, we all just level up. And I don't think there's a ceiling to this. I've been saying that for a couple of years now. I don't think there's a ceiling to this practice or these teachings. It just keeps unfolding and getting bigger and better and bigger and better. And we're all part of it. Yeah. Regardless of where you are in your Tya journey, we're all part of it. We're all contributing to it. And we're all learning this practice little by little and implementing it in our lives.
Mm-hmm. And one thing that was amazing was it was 4 hours long. And I believe, I could be wrong, but you had intended to take more breaks and then didn't. So I think you only took 2, maybe 3 short breaks.
We ended up taking 2 because we went pretty far in between. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it felt like it was 20 minutes had gone by.
Yeah, the whole thing went by really, really fast. And a lot of people said that about it as well. So if you haven't seen the trailer, go watch the trailer. If you click on that link to get your space, the trailer is in there also. So you can watch the trailer. You can see a little bit of the channel message. You can see everybody kind of celebrating at the end. It was a lot of fun. And then you can grab your ticket. We are limiting space, so go ahead and get it now because we cap out. I forget what the number is, but we cap out in there because we don't want that group to be too big so that we have a higher quality interaction. So it is a limited capacity situation.
And so it ends Friday. I think it ends Friday.
Yeah, you have to get your ticket by Friday because we send out the codes to get in. I think that night or first thing the next morning. Yeah.
First thing the next morning. So the registration ends on Friday. So get in there, get your ticket, and we'll see you at the summit. I'm so excited.
All right, everybody. I don't see any questions for us, so we will take off. But I want to thank all of you for participating, for watching. I want to thank Kerry so much for your Tya rock star status and coming on with me and sharing your amazing experience and manifesting, living on the ocean, and exactly what you dreamed of and what you visioned for yourself a couple of years ago. And you dreamed of your whole life. So we're all very, very, very excited for you. And I'm excited for you to have high-speed internet down there.
Yes, I know. Won't that be fabulous?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. You're very, very important to me in this business and this practice. So
Oh, thank you,
very
David.
happy for
I
you.
I am very grateful for Taya. Always will be. So, and thank you all for listening to my story and hope we see you at the summit.
All right, everybody. Thank you.